start the recording. And I forgot to do order. It's gonna be me, then Pat says hi, then Mark says hi, then Yash says hi. Okay. Anyways.
Wait, do I say hi? I say hi second?
You say hi first. God damn
I
it.
say hi first.
Okay. Anyways, welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I am your host, as always, Nick Mercadante, and with me today I have three lovely guests. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
Is it my turn now?
Great. I love you so much, Pat. You're
I'm sorry.
just the coolest cat of all time.
Listen, all I know is I was second.
My name is Patrick Amario, and I'm an award-winning animator, and I just killed 2 space pirates. I'm logging off the game now.
My name is Mark Anderson. I got big-ass titties like Broly from Dragon Ball Z. That's me. That's it.
That's me. That's all you gotta know.
That's it.
That's all you gotta know.
Yep.
My name is Yash. I don't have big ass titties, so I don't really have any achievements, I guess.
Don't worry,
It's
I don't
okay.
have big
We can
titties
get you
either.
there.
We can suffer together. I
It's
thought
a dream.
Broly's whole thing is that he got an ass that can fart. I thought that was the whole
Wait,
meme.
what?
What?
Have you not seen that meme where fucking it's a picture of somebody beaming Yamcha, the fucking weak one that everybody makes fun of. And it's just it's a beam going through his chest, but the source of it has been replaced with like that naked Broly who's doing like the Nicki Minaj squat. Has got like the fat ass.
They can fart.
I don't think we're looking at the same materials.
Yeah, all right.
Like
Well,
our normal day to day.
you should check. I mean, as a Broly connoisseur, I'm just surprised. Also, I feel like you sent that in the fucking Butts channel like a while back, but I guess it's somebody else. Anyways, this has been an interesting week. For one, it's October, start of Spooktober. You guys ready
Happy
for
Halloween?
Yeah, ready for the spooky month? You guys got any plans?
I'm
Probably
already
not,
annoyed
but-
by the memes.
I have to go to court in like a few days because I got a parking ticket.
Oh.
So breaking the law.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anarchy!
I filled the meter, but I put it in the wrong meter, so I got a ticket.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
You followed the
Yeah,
rules.
$5
incorrectly.
on a parking and then a $40 ticket. So
Jesus Christ. So
Great.
you're going in to like argue it?
it's actually a Zoom call, which is kind of weird.
Oh, that's even
So
better.
there'll be like the judge on the Zoom call. Yeah,
Tell us how
it'll
that
be
goes.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I've never been to court before, so this will be interesting.
Can we join the Zoom call as like
As moral
like,
support, can we just sit in?
Yes,
and
you
be
can
like,
talk about like whether Broly farts or not. Like I don't.
We'll
think so.
do horsing around in court.
free my nigga?
Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor, please. I need the subs, okay? I did it for the subs. I'm begging you.
It's
Bro,
like
How to
I'm just
take a
logging up
$40
over here
ticket
in the
and
Zoom
make
call.
it a $400 fine.
Oh my god!
like
Did you
Law
guys
and Order, but
see
worse.
the fucking court case that the Rick and Morty voice actors
Yeah.
transcribed? It was what was it about? It was just some dude who is like going into not even like for the actual trial, but to have the date moved for the trial. And then he just started like shit talking the judge so bad that they they got into like a massive shouting match. I'll see if I can pull it up. I want to see
Even
what they-
better, there's a version of that over like where they use that that sound over the presidential debates.
Oh yeah,
what?
yeah
With
State
Morty
of
being
Georgia.
Morty being Joe Biden and Rick being Donald Trump.
That's so
Denver
fucking
Felton out.
good.
Okay.
God
Yeah.
bless. Okay.
Georgia judge
This is
loses
kangaroo
over vulgar courtroom exchange. Completely lost it on the bench during a hearing, which a murder defendant shouted repeated obscenities at the judge and threatened to kill members of the judge's family. It was fucking insane. Definitely
pretty-
highly recommend you watch the Rick and Morty transcription or just like read about it if you've got the time. It's fucking hilarious.
It was really a high point in the American judicial system, if I'm going to be honest.
I mean, there's not many
This is
high
kangaroo
points in our
court.
history, so
This is this is kangaroo court.
yeah. Oh god, it's fucking hilarious. Anyways, I don't know. It's to fucking make him use my crock pot again today, making some loaded potatoes with
Ah,
bacon and onions and garlic. It
What
smells real
transition
good.
that was.
I'd love to
I
live
don't
your
know. I just
potatoes.
felt we were done talking about the fucking court case, so
I thought you were showing it.
What? No, I'm not gonna. I don't have the ability to take my camera out and show it. I wish I could. It does look really good. I'm
You
excited.
can stream the thing. No, we don't have to watch it though.
I should stream myself cooking sometime. I'm glad it's something that I've been getting into.
I thought
What were you talking about?
I thought we were talking about Rick and Morty still.
No, I'm not gonna just stream Rick and Morty. You can watch it on your own
Call
time.
it cooking around or something?
Oh my god. What did you say?
You call it like cooking around or something.
Oh yeah. Come up with a funny little name for it. Man, Pat, I still need to do that session and pay you for figuring out what I want to do for channel art and stuff.
Ah, yes. I
That's-
do have a bit more free time now.
Have
So
that sit in the back of my head. I am completely lacking in spare time, and also starting to cordon off a lot more money for a new PC build. So I don't know if it's the wisest thing for me to do to start spending more money.
yeah, we
on.
don't.
Well, I mean, spending $1,500 on a 3090 you don't need also doesn't help.
You don't need a 3090 at all, Nick. You
Oh,
were the
you
last.
Anyone need a 3090?
Listen, Kobe makes sense. When he's buying a 3090, it's because he has the excess money to. You don't need it. And you're using streaming to justify buying a stupid ass graphics card.
Nick, out of everyone here, I don't know about you, Mark, but out of everyone here, I think I'm the only person who would quote unquote need a 3090.
Yeah, because you're doing art stuff. You're doing 3D
Yeah,
modeling
and like
and
it
shit.
actually, and it actually benefits me to like pay the extra buck. But I don't need a 3090. I can just
Yeah,
do.
he needs those triangles, dude.
I'm fine with just 3080.
Well,
Fucking
like it's literally just coming down to, is the extra VRAM going to help with streaming, recording, and playing high-end games all at the same
No.
time?
Is
No.
it going to be worth doubling the cost of a 3080?
No,
I
just
just
how
want
much?
to see. I just want to see. There's a guy on YouTube called Alpha Gaming that put out a review of the 3080 in terms of streaming. Like, he specifically was covering how it worked when streaming games as well as playing them. And he was like, yeah, the 3080 is pretty good. So I'm just waiting to see if the 3090 has any markable improvements when streaming over the 3080. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to get the 3080, and that's going to be the end of it.
I mean, it's diminishing returns. Is it really worth it to spend that much to get like a small like bump in performance?
I think at
Well,
that
that's why
point,
I'm not sure
so.
if it's a small bump. Like,
Okay.
if I'm losing a lot of frames because I'm trying to record like 4K at the same time as gaming, or even if I'm recording 1440p, because I don't even think, like, it seems like the 3080 and the 3090 aren't actually going to be able to hold good frame rates at 4K.
Yeah.
For the most part. So if I'm doing like recording 1440p, that's still a lot more than what I'm recording right now, which is, I think, 720. No, actually, I might be recording 1080 right now, but I'm definitely only streaming 720. But I would like to be streaming 1080 and then recording higher than that if possible.
Well, what do you have right now?
I've got a 1070.
Yeah, what the dude, just like
You're fine.
touch, just get a 3080. You're gonna be like, this is like 20 years better than what
Yeah, you're
you
fine.
have already.
Yeah.
Go
You're
3080.
fine. You're just
Yeah.
look, listen. There is so much of a gap between your 1070 and like even like a 2080 Ti.
I think I'm just still salty because when they, dropped the like all the initial specs for the 30 series, and they were like, 3090 is the first computer that could do 8K gaming, and then all the actual benchmarks came out. It's just like, you could do it on a couple specific games with like ray tracing off. It's just like, why are you trying to?
So because of that, you want to
that?
buy one now?
No. I'm salty because I thought that we were getting to a point where I could realistically do 144 hertz 4K gaming, and that's not a possibility on any of the cards.
No.
So
No, definitely not.
yeah. So I'm just salty. I'm sad about that. And I wish I'm trying to see if there's anything else that can possibly justify going all out, but
It's
chances are
insane, but
slim.
you're shooting for the jump was insane, but you were shooting for the moon, Nick.
Yeah.
That is. I mean, let's give it another like 5 years, and
yeah,
then
probably.
I think.
But then at that point, like, I want to upgrade now because I'm starting to get to a point where the 1070 isn't able to like max settings on the new games that are coming out, specifically Cyberpunk. Well, that's something else we could talk about. The fucking crunch.
Just make it to 40 viewers, like 40 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, that's the other
thing.
I don't think like getting that much of a graphics increase is probably going to be that insanely helpful for getting viewers. It's not going to change the content, so.
No. But I mean, I respect the what's it called? Your hustle for wanting to get that the 3090.
Yeah.
For streaming, I can respect that. I respect
the delusion.
I respect.
That's the part you shouldn't respect.
I respect wanting those fat, uncompressed video files. We love to see like.
I want to get my fucking terabyte SSD filled up like every other day for my 2-hour streams.
Dude,
you only have a terabyte?
I mean, I've got multiple SSDs, but I have one that is. I just got one that's a terabyte SSD. Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering because you got to hold all those files. Like, I'm surprised you don't like try to go for just like a shuckable or like some kind of like external like.
I might look into that in the future, but for now, what I've got has been working for me. Basically, I'll record all the episodes over the course of the week, save them, and then usually today after the podcast, I just go and upload them all to YouTube, and then. As soon as I see that the drive is starting to get like kind of full, I'll just wipe them because they're getting stored on YouTube and Twitch for a little while. Honestly, I could just not record and then just export from Twitch to YouTube because they have that as a functionality I found out recently. It just, I don't know, it's just like an extra layer of safety, and especially if I like wanted to edit them somehow, I just have the video file on hand then rather than having to download it from Twitch. But yeah, I don't know. But enough about streaming though. What else has been going on? All right, I want to talk with Yash. You've watched this Netflix show called Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Please tell us what this show is about and how it is apparently good, because I saw the trailer for this show and it looked like very generic.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. Yeah. Okay, so if you know me, then you know that I at least historically have like been really big on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, not so big on Jurassic World.
No, I did not like Jurassic World, and like I definitely don't like. I mean, I'm not as like big on Jurassic Park as I used to be.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like it used to be my like jam. I have like 4 copies of each movie in the original trilogy.
Good lord.
In VHS, then DVD when that became a thing, then special edition DVD, then Ultimate Blu-ray Collector's Edition. So watching this TV show was kind of like a necessity for me anyways, I guess, whether it was good or bad.
Legally required.
Yeah, basically. And watching it, though, I was actually pleasantly surprised because it's set in Jurassic World. It's called Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
So this is before, I'm assuming this is before the events of Jurassic World, because the park is
that's what's interesting, is it actually lines up, like where it's like it starts before like Jurassic World, like the plot of the movie starts.
Okay.
But then it ends up aligning with the plot of the movie.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, how are they gonna make? Because the trailer is like they go to the park and then shit starts going down, and I was just like, how are they gonna do this if it's not like tied into the movie? But I guess it is, so that works out.
Yeah, I was confused too. Like, I didn't try and watch anything going into it, because, like I said, I was gonna watch it either way. And when I started watching it, I was gonna be like, okay, so is it just like they go to camp and then every day some kind of near miss happens with like a dinosaur and that's it? But if you wait like a couple episodes, so like the premise of the show is that Masrani, who is like the guy that owns Jurassic World,
and who dies like a bitch in a fucking helicopter crash.
I mean, he tried. He went up pretty good, I think. Like he at least tried to do something.
It just felt such like he was being like developed as a character for like the first third or 2/3 of the movie, and then he just dies like that, and you're like, what? Yeah.
This is actually not related directly, but the actor that plays Masrani actually died in real life during the coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, rest in peace.
He's like a really famous actor in India. So that kind of sucked. I think he died of cancer though, not COVID. But anyways, he died. But the idea is that he wanted to start this Camp Cretaceous, like a thing for kids at the park, and 6 kids like are there for a pilot program. Just like the way that, Dr. Grant and Sattler and the 2 kids and everyone is there for like the pilot kind of Jurassic Park. Like the first people to experience it.
Yeah.
And so the main character is this kid Darius, and he is like a big dinosaur guy, and he's really big into Jurassic Park. And he wins because he beats this like game that they released.
It's like a contest
that was
to
like
get into this pilot
unbeatable.
program. Is that
Exactly? Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was like a video game. That's how the show starts. Actually, is with the video game. And so the graphics look worse. And I was like, is this what it's going to look like? But it actually does not look like that. For the rest of the show.
I'm looking
but
at
it's like he has
the previews right now, and some of these faces look a little.
Yeah, it looks weird a little bit. You have to get used. It's kind of like Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where like it's weird initially, but you get used to it over time, and eventually you just don't notice it. But yeah, so he wins that contest and he gets into the park, and there's 5 other kids that get in, each for a different reason. So he won the contest, and he's the only one that really knows about like dinosaurs. One of them is like a social influencer, like a vlogger. One of them, his dad is like a big investor into the park, so he got in through that. Like he's super rich.
So it's like
one
a
of them
Charlie and the
is
Chocolate
like
Factory
she's like a
type situation, kind of.
I wouldn't have said it like that, but yeah, you could think of it like that.
It just kind of sounds like that.
One is a professional athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't. It's. I guess you could think of it like that. I still think of it in terms of like the original Jurassic Park, and that's why I like it a lot. Is like it's got a lot of like the vibe of the original one. So you start out and like these kids are all in the park or in the camp, and like there's some near misses happening and stuff. And then by like the 4th episode, I think it's like the Indominus happens. Like, and what's interesting is like the 2 main characters in the movie Jurassic World, like the two boys who have like no charisma. They are supposed to be part of the camp as well. It turns out, like they were arriving on that day, and the 2 camp counselors actually went to go see Bryce Dallas Howard's character and tell her like we need more staff here. Like don't send your kids because like we're not able to manage with the 6 kids because like I said like stuff keeps happening like dinosaurs and whatnot. And then during so the camp counselors aren't there. Yeah, they're not there at the time when like the Indominus breaks out. And so the kids are alone and are trying to like find their way through the park because they're on like the other side of the park from like the docks and everything else.
Yeah.
And so then the rest of the show is them trying to make their way through the park and try and get out. And I'll say this about the show is like it surprised me because it has teeth. You know, it's like when I started watching the Clone Wars for the first time, I was really surprised when like someone got lightsabered through the chest because I thought it was a kids show.
Yeah.
And like this show, it's not afraid to kind of actually like kind of take some risks. And like it's not like Jurassic
you
World.
You don't have to say if it's a spoiler, but do kids die? Do they murder children?
Please tell me kids die. If kids died, I would actually watch this.
Kids don't not die.
Wow, are you for real? Holy shit!
Yeah. Like I said, this show has teeth. It's like surprising. Like they don't.
Yeah, I would not have expected.
Like,
from the trailer, I would not have expected that, like at all.
Yeah, right. It's surprising that this show is actually good. Like if you've seen Legend of Korra, like in season 1, it's like oh my god, everyone lost their bending, and then at the end they just get it all back, right? Like this show is not like that, where like it kind of commits to things happening.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like take the easy way. And it's like the original Jurassic Park in the sense that it's just kind of there's no fighting the dinosaurs like they try to do in Jurassic World. It's just kind of it's like it's really intense, and it's like that's what's really good about it. It's like it's got that tension that you wouldn't expect from a kids show that like actually had me kind of like tensing my legs up and stuff.
Damn.
So I would check it out. I think the music was also pretty good, but I don't remember it that well. But it's a good show, and I'll check it out. It's only like 8 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what it looks like.
Doesn't take that long. It's also shot really well. Like the actual like the direction of the show is like really nice. Like it looks good, and like it feels like a proper movie. Especially like the way every episode ends too. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Even if you don't like if you like Jurassic World, if you like Jurassic Park, I think you'll like this. Although if you like Jurassic World, you probably have bad taste, so who knows?
Shut up. Jurassic World was fun, okay? It was stupid. I will give that it was a stupid movie, but it was fun, okay? It was stupid fun.
It was just stupid.
It's kind of dumb.
I just groaned the entire movie.
There were some moments.
And I heard you getting really excited next to me. And I was just like, ugh.
Can't be mad at the crispy rat. The crispy rat.
The what?
Yeah. Chris Pratt.
Oh, Chris Pratt.
The
Oh
crispy
my God.
rat.
Look, he's cool,
Yeah.
and he did a good job.
He wasn't bad
That was
in
one of
the
the few
movie, actually.
things that
He
you
was-
liked from that movie, right? Was Chris Pratt?
Yeah, I actually liked Chris Pratt. In the trailer for like the movie, he looked really like, I don't know, I didn't think it looked really good, like with him in it. But then in the movie, he was good, I thought. I liked his character.
Yeah.
One of the few characters that was like likable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just dumb fun. I guess it's not like the same, it's not a thriller the way that, Jurassic Park 1 was. But I think they kind of lost that as soon as they went to the Lost World, and I guess that's where a lot of people were like, they think the series start going down.
Literally, like, I just don't consider any of those movies canon. Basically, it's just Jurassic Park.
I mean, hell,
and
dude.
then
Like
the game.
they have a hell of a time with canon, anyways. Like I remember the fucking Michael Crichton when he was writing The Lost World, he just retconned Ian Malcolm's death. It's just like, oh, he got better.
He got better.
Yeah.
Ian Malcolm died
That
in
didn't
Jurassic
come
Park.
into the movie though.
Huh?
Like in the movie, so like in the book, Ian Malcolm dies at the end, and then they just say like it's kind of like in Star Wars Episode 9 where they're just like somehow Ian Malcolm survived, and like he's just back again for the next book.
Actually, Palpatine was behind everything. Got him. We had this plan from the start. Definitely 100%.
They made the last movie its own trilogy, basically.
Actually, she was Palpatine's daughter.
They really did make the
my
last movie
God.
its own thing. Like
They needed, like, JJ was just like, oh fuck, dude, I didn't think I was having to come back for this shit. I don't know. Fucking.
I blame like JJ and Ryan Johnson because like Ryan Johnson,
No,
like in the
I
first movie
blame
nothing
fucking
really
Kathleen
happens, but it's
Kennedy.
like the
Kathleen
setup.
Kennedy shouldn't have just been like, oh, we have Star Wars now? Let's just fucking wing it. Let's just give the movies to random ass directors and hope it works out at the end.
I might be the only person who actually liked that movie.
The
Nick,
Rise of
wait,
Skywalker?
which one? The 9th or the 8th?
Yep.
really?
Like the Rise of
What?
Skywalker. Wow. That is
That's
a hot
amazing.
take.
Like, the caveat there is that I'm not like a big like Star Wars person, but
Okay.
I did enjoy the movie. I found it
Entertaining.
well, I didn't like how they did my boy Poe. Like I really don't
I mean,
like how they did him.
They fucked over Finn too. They fucked over most of the main cast. It feels like sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like how they did Poe or Finn. It didn't. But like I don't know. Besides that, I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't know what was up with the Palpatine dude. Like I didn't know why he was
Back.
how he came back or
Yeah.
anything like that, or why he had
No
that
one knew
giant.
why he was back.
Yeah.
I don't know why he had like a giant like ship
He had the
army
throne.
out there
Never-
somehow.
Nobody
yeah,
did?
and he had like a
Nobody knew?
whole galaxy's worth of fucking ships just ready with all of them had Death Star beams. It always comes back to a fucking Death Star. It's just like they
I kind
couldn't
of assumed
escape
that I just missed something, but if
No?
it seems like I didn't miss anything.
no.
Yeah, that's just how it was. You
Alright.
didn't miss shit. That was just it.
You
That
didn't
was-
know what was going on, but neither did the writers either. They just like threw it in, and they're just like somehow this happened.
Yeah.
Just
They
accept
basically all that you needed to know is that like Rey and Kylo developed like a fucking Force Skype ability in the 8th movie, and that's why they were doing it so much in the 9th movie. And that was the only part that I really enjoyed from the fucking 9th movie. Was the parts
I
that were
The weird
just
thing
wanted
to
them
me-
to show him with his shirt off again, with like the pants really high.
Wide Kylo.
Like they did.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god. Absolute unit Kylo.
I had a gif of him just like bouncing around, but like they made his like
His
chest
titties like
bounce like they were
jiggly.
titties.
Yeah, they gave
So
him
they were
I
just
jiggles.
going
love
back and
that.
forth.
Oh my god. Yeah.
We love
Wow.
to see it.
And you say you're not a Star Wars fan. Come on.
I mean, if you're gonna try to look for something positive out of all that mess, I think it like exposed a lot of those actors to like now being able to get into a lot of other shit. Like I don't know. I
Oh,
guess
I
I
Adam
actually
was
heard
Driver's
Daisy Ridley's been having a lot of trouble trying to get roles now.
really.
Actually, no. I
Yeah.
think she's on what's it called? She's on the new Murder on the Nile or whatever.
Wait, no,
The-
Really?
I thought no, she was in Murder on the Orient Express, but then
She was.
She was. Well,
No,
spoilers.
no,
Spoilers.
Gal-
I haven't
Spoilers.
seen it.
Okay,
Gal
I'm not
Gadot's
gonna
Gal
spoil
Gadot's in
anything.
Murder on the Nile.
But I don't think she's gonna be Murder on the Nile. I don't think she's
No,
gonna
no.
be in that one.
Yeah. Gal Gadot's in it. Gal Gadot's in it.
Oh,
I
okay.
got them mixed up. I was like, they're both really pretty.
You're not wrong.
No, Daisy. I think Daisy Ridley's gonna be fine getting jobs.
Yeah, but then
She
also
had an interview though where she said she's been having trouble.
Really?
How recent was that?
Like she herself said that she's been having trouble.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. I assume that could also be because of COVID, right?
Yeah, is that like specifically related
Maybe,
to
I don't know.
the current state of the world, or?
Yeah, the past
I
year.
think she's saying it's because of Star Wars, but yeah, it could be COVID. Who knows?
It could be COVID. I mean, because what's it called?
Both are a disease.
Everyone else is like doing fine getting jobs.
Well, it's not like her fault that that people didn't like the movie.
No, it's not
like,
her fault.
Yeah,
so why would they be mad at her?
And she's also a good actor.
I think it's more like you get kind of typecast into a role, or like it's like you just get associated with this one character, and then you have a lot of trouble moving past that.
I think
that happens to a lot of actors.
Like,
have you guys seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Like Dennis has wanted to become like branch out into other things, but he just keeps getting kind of typecast into like this asshole role, which is understandable, and he's really good at it. But it's like you get like when people just want to cast you like in the safe bet where it's like, okay, you're already good at this thing, and we'll just keep putting you in that role over and over again.
Yeah.
Or it can be that like people maybe will just see you as like, oh, it's Ray every time you're in a movie.
That makes sense.
It's like it happens to Tom Cruise, I think. I mean, no one cares because it's fun to watch Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
but
it's Tom Cruise.
It's never Tom Cruise as a character. It's just Tom Cruise is in a movie, and he's the character Tom Cruise.
I reckon
like Dwight Schrute or like Jim Krasinski for a bit before he did.
Not like.
Did you just say Jim Krasinski?
It's like that
is just playing to the evidence of it. This man's John Krasinski. He's Jim Krasinski to us now.
Yeah. Whatever.
God bless.
My bad.
No, you're good. It's just that's just funny. It's proving the point.
It's like The Rock. The Rock just plays The Rock in every movie he's in.
Dude, when you're a fucking like built like a brick shithouse, like
I can tear a fucking gate off its hinges.
Right, like you're gonna get a little typecast. You can only hide the bulging muscles so much.
But what's it called? I figured
Murky's gonna find him.
Daisy.
What's up?
Daisy Ridley's been in like a bunch of other films that like, I felt like she did great as like other characters beyond Ray. Like her other films.
I don't think she's a bad actress.
Yeah, so
I think she's fine. I don't think any of the people in Star Wars were like actually bad. I think it's definitely the writing. Like Poe was wasted and Finn was wasted. Like everyone was.
They were
wasted.
Absolutely wasted. It was. They like fucking what's it called? Kelly Marie Tran, she shouldn't have gone back. She should have just left after Johnson because her fucking role in fucking Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, she just wasn't. What was she doing? She did nothing.
Yeah, she was like, "I'll stay here, guys. You guys go on. I'll do some research."
Remember when we kissed at the end of the last movie? Whatever.
My place is here. Like just all the way back there.
Yeah. You can't. You could like maybe see a pixel of me in the background. It's fine. God.
I'll be over there with the gay representation. Don't worry, guys.
The 2-second flash of two lesbians kissing.
You can edit me out in China. It's okay, guys. I'll be back later.
Go on without me.
Go on without me. I'll be behind the extras. I'll be past the crew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like that. Like some people, like Nick, liked the 8th movie.
Yeah.
And I think most people, like me and the other 3 friends, did not like the movie. But then, like, this movie somehow made everyone angry. Like, it didn't make anyone enjoy it.
It just couldn't commit to anything. It destroyed anything that was built up either in Episode 7 or Episode 8. So if you liked Episode 7 but didn't like Episode 8, it wouldn't satisfy you. And then if you didn't like or you liked Episode 8 but weren't like crazy about Episode 7, it didn't help there either. Like, again, the only thing I liked about Episode 9 was the fact that they kept using the Force Skype shit for plot development, and that was good, but that was it, and then they didn't do anything else. It was fucking...
That one moment was really cool, I will admit. I liked that.
Yeah, the episode 7 was super safe. Episode 8 was, like, divisive,
super
but it
risky.
was still... It was aight. Like, it wasn't... It had some bad parts in it that, like, I didn't like, but it also just wasn't a terrible movie. But then Episode 9 was just, like, J.J. Abrams and like Disney throwing a fit, essentially.
Yeah.
It was just
I think the
like...
problem with this series was each movie like each movie undid what happened in the previous movie. So J.J. Abrams didn't actually set much up in the first movie, but everyone was excited because it was like Star Wars is here. Like, let's see where it goes. You got that
nostalgia boner, and it was just like, oh my god, everybody's back. Han's,
I rewatched the movie with my cousin because she'd never seen Star Wars, and I was really surprised at how like bad the dialogue was. Like I didn't even notice it in the movie theater because it was so exciting. Yeah. And then the next movie came out. And I mean, I have a lot of issues, and I'm not going to talk about them here.
I don't want to get stuck on Star Wars forever.
Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the issues, but it like undid, like it kind of took all the questions before, and it was like, nah, like who is Rey's parents? It doesn't matter. She was nobody, and they just kind of did that where it's just like
so
it was like
bold. All right, I'm not gonna. Oh man, I can talk about this forever. I want there to be a tally of how many episodes of the show just fall into fucking episode 8 discourse. It's been so often. I have to physically restrain myself from just going off about it.
I'm not gonna go into it, but it just kind of like disregarded everything that came before.
Yeah.
And then the next movie after that, it was like they could have tried to at least continue with all the shitty stuff they'd set up. But then they didn't do that either. And they just tried to restart an entire thing and cram a whole trilogy in.
Yeah.
And Palpatine was stupid, and the fleet was stupid, and the Death Star tech was stupid.
It's so incredible that a corporation like Disney, they, at the same time as they were making these Star Wars movies, were also directing the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is like one of the biggest, cross-film, collection of media that's ever been done, and they pulled it off. Like Endgame, fucking success. People can have, their issues with it.
There's a big reason for that, though. It's Kevin Feige. Right. Kevin Feige is the reason Marvel, they didn't have anyone like that for Star Wars. Although Kevin Feige is now working on Star Wars too.
They didn't have any foresight to be like, maybe we should think this out a little bit more, because they already had seen the success of the Marvel movies, and they're like,
foresight. I got that. It just registered.
You said foresight.
Oh my god.
Foresight.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see where Star Wars goes after this. It's hilarious because in almost every other aspect, Star Wars has been pumping out great shit. Like the Clone Wars TV show, which I know you pointed out in the doc you wanted to talk about a little bit, and then the Mandalorian. It's been a while.
If anyone is interested, I would like to talk about it.
We can. I think I do want to actually stop for a minute because I saw, Mark, you added something to the doc that I do really want to talk about, which is the Harley Quinn TV show.
Let's go.
But just to wrap up Star Wars for now, everything else in Star Wars has been doing pretty alright. It's just the mainline movies, which should be, the centerpiece of it all, is what shit the bed out of everything. Like the video games, after fucking Battlefront 2's shit show, after that point, they did Jedi Order or whatever, Fallen Order. Yep. That shit was so good. And then Mandalorian and Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed.
Don't get me wrong. I love Force Unleashed, but it's a little bit
Force
older.
Unleashed 2 on Wii? You got to swing your arms around?
Yeah, I used to play on Wii.
That shit was great.
Yeah. Dude, I saw when I played, or I saw the demos for Force Unleashed way back when they were demoing it at E3 and stuff, and they were showing off how they had all this intuitive AI and material physics, so glass would break in unique ways every time, and stormtroopers, if they were being flung around, they would hang on to each other to try and not get flung into the distance or whatever.
Sweet.
And it was really cool tech, and I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. But I only had a Wii at the time, and I found out when I got Force Unleashed on the Wii, they didn't do any of that shit for the Wii, because the Wii
because it was the fucking Wii.
Was a fucking terrible piece of hardware that nobody could program for. And I was just like, where's all the cool shit? And why are the graphics so bad? And it was because it was just on the Wii. I still enjoyed the game, but
well, you could do this, which was really fun.
Yeah, you could motion control that shit, which is amazing.
It was really just ended up you flailing around, just.
Oh yeah.
Like you're having a spasm.
Oh yeah, and then they fucking. I loved how they just gave you the ability to have cool fights with cool characters just because the fucking robot companion was able to download information on all of the other famous Jedi in existence, so you could just fight Obi-Wan. Cause
it's fun little fancy.
No, I don't even remember that.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyways, sorry. Yeah. So Star Wars is a time. But yeah, sorry. Mark, you've watched the Harley Quinn TV show?
I've watched it. I finished it last night
Oh my god.
with Chase.
Yeah, so to give a little overview for anybody who hasn't watched the show, it is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a show focused on Harley Quinn, the character from the DC universe. She and Poison Ivy is the main supporting character. She basically just is riling up shit in Gotham City, and chaos ensues wherever she does anything, and it's just a really good time. But what did you think of the show, Mark?
That show is so fucking amazing.
I fucking know, right?
It's really good.
It's so good. Have you seen it, Yash?
No, I was actually planning to get like a subscription to DC because I wanted to start watching it.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen it yet.
If you've got the time and you're able to watch it somehow, please watch it. Especially because you're a super big like Batman DC person. I think it's a really amazing take on just Gotham City and sort of the absurdity of living the world of superheroes, but not in like an Injustice way or like The Boys way. Just kind of like having fun with it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's like actually the biggest thing I could say about it is that it's just fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's like has solid storylines and it's just fun overall to watch.
And I think like it speaks to how well the show does, but like I never really pictured myself to be a person who would ever enjoy love triangles. But there is a love triangle between Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and fucking Kite Man. And
it's not a triangle if it's not connected at the bottom. It's just like
true.
Okay, sure, but like
Kite Man in the show.
Yeah, Kite Man is a major character in the Harley Quinn TV show.
Hell yeah! I don't think he says that much.
And Condiment King.
No, he does. He does say hell yeah.
Condiment King is fucking Kite Man's rival, and it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's just like, and like I was amazed how they made him not just like, cause obviously there's chemistry between Harley Quinn and Ivy, from like the get-go, and they play into that, but then they introduce Kite Man, and you're like, oh, is this just gonna be the dude that Harley has to beat to get with Ivy, and is he just gonna be some boring trope ass character? But he's not. He's like a really cool dude, and like I sympathize with him, even though I think her, Ivy and Harley are better together. Like,
nah, I wanted Kite Man to die the minute I started seeing. Like, I was like me and Chase were sitting in there thinking of the ways that Kite Man was gonna die so that Harley Quinn could be with.
Oh my god!
I thought Kite Man was gonna die too. He's a really good character. He's a really, really good character in this show.
Wait, I gotta hop off for a minute. I'll be back in like a couple minutes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if he's going, we could talk about spoilers. Spoilers for Harley Quinn. Yeah, no, like I don't know. For me personally, like at the wedding when he was just like, look, I understand, like you just care for Harley more, and it's just like I need to honestly, let go and move on, and it's like, wow, that was really.
It's really mature of him, and honestly,
they didn't make him like an asshole.
Much sense to his character, though. To me, anyways, like I didn't see like the entire show. Right, Kite Man is kind of just not the type of character that would do that, and then in the end of just at the end, it's like, oh well, okay, he's just gonna be mature now. It didn't make much sense to me.
It's because of like the whole bit in with what's it called, the little Psycho dude, Dr. Psycho, where he like showed off like Harley and Ivy banging each other and stuff, and like Ivy cheated on him and shit.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
But that would that's fair, but he still wanted to go through with the fucking wedding.
Yeah, he wanted to he wanted to like stick with it, but then he realized like during, I guess, what was it, third or fourth time, like fucking shit goes south.
Yeah.
Like during the wedding itself, then he realized like this just isn't gonna work out.
Yeah.
I think the wedding itself was very much like a moment of like waking up for him, where it's just like he's not gonna get that day with Ivy. And I think that's like that's a big thing he realized, right? Like he's not gonna get that day with her.
And like I don't really agree that he wasn't like that matureness was out of nowhere. Like I feel like he'd been, a decent boyfriend for like the entire time that they were building up their relationship. Like I legitimately thought that there could have been a ending where she just ended up with him and then they were fine together and Harley learned to be her own woman. I think I prefer like Harley and Ivy getting together at the end of that season 2, but like I don't know. It was written well enough in my mind and the way I experienced it that I could see it happening and not really be that upset about it.
Like, I think it was a fine boyfriend. I just think like Ivy just
was more into Harley.
Yeah. I mean, that just makes sense.
And then it kind of came on kind of suddenly, and she's like, "Oh shit, oh fuck," because she enjoyed being with Kite Man, but she just realizes that she had so much more going on with Harley. And again, the fact that I'm even like talking about this fucking romance triangle shit is something I never even thought would be a type of entertainment I would be so into, but it's so well written. Like, oh my God.
I like when the episodes when Joker, like the ones that we watched last night were like the last like 5 episodes of season 2. Mm-hmm. I really liked when Joker came back and then like Joker was just like hanging out with the lady that he was.
Yeah, he was a normal dude for like half the season, and then he comes back to the Joker. He's just like, wait, no, I actually like being with this nice Latina housemaid.
That's what I really like how the Harley Quinn show like handles relationships like that though. Mm-hmm. Especially like with Joker and like the Latina lady, like you could really just see like I don't know. It was just like you can understand his like reasoning why he'd want to like stay with her and stuff.
Oh yeah, because he was fucking happy, and he's just like, wait a minute, I could just stop being a sociopath for like 5 minutes, and obviously like it would have been so easy to just make him the unredeemable guy, and I don't think anybody would have been mad about that. But then they somehow made like, and I don't know if he's even redeemed necessarily. Like obviously he's still abused Harley, and like they address that, but like he got a new start with his fucking amnesia, and then they actually committed to him like changing as a character because of that period of time where he wasn't the Joker. And I think that was like really interesting in a world where I think a lot of stories like that end up with the person reverting and like just going back to who they were, especially if they were a villain and then they just fall back into it. That was really an interesting choice, and I think they pulled it off well.
I like that Harley Quinn isn't a villain for the entire show.
Yeah,
that was something that like I was like, okay, this is awesome. I like that Harley Quinn can actually be like a likable character.
Oh yeah, and I think that's
like a more morally likable character.
Yeah, and like I think I don't follow the comics super closely, but I think because people love Harley Quinn so much that she's kind of been having that character arc in the comics as well. Like she's been evolving to a point where like in some universes she's part of the Justice League, or at least like has a hand in it. Like in fucking Injustice
she is.
Injustice, she's literally working with Bruce Wayne to help keep things in line after the whole all the events of Injustice 1. So it's like people just want to see more Harley Quinn, and so they're experimenting with her character outside of just being the Joker's girlfriend and a villain, which is really cool.
I know. I love that. Like one of my favorite fighting games, like can actually be kind of like canon and have like an entire universe behind it.
Yeah.
Like being able to like I love like NetherRealm games. And having them like having Injustice 1 and Injustice 2 be like actual story, like that they get to make the story for it, and it's like the game story as well. It's kind of great.
Yeah, it's real fucking cool. Move Yash back. Honestly, Yash would probably be able to talk with you about that for a while, because Yash is a big DC person, and so you've got some knowledge on Injustice stuff, right, Yash? Yash?
Yeah, I read the entire 5-year comic series.
Yeah.
Which
so
was like
the fact that they built in they supported the Injustice games with like a whole tie-in comic series that is apparently it's pretty good, right?
It's not bad. I don't think I've read all.
I think years 1 through so like in Injustice, like Superman kills the Joker in like let's say like year 1, and then the game is set 5 years after that, and so the comic covers those 5 years, and like so each season you can think of it, it's like year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Years 1 through 3 are excellent in my opinion, and then I think years 4 and 5
years after. Which like
Injustice 1 is 5 years. So like in the game at the beginning, Superman kills the Joker, and then the rest of the game takes place 5 years after that.
Because they have the regime set up by that point, and it's like
yeah. So that that comic series is excellent. Like each year has sort of like a different theme. Year 3 is about Constantine, and Constantine and like the other magic users then. Yeah, Constantine and the other magic users then are trying to take down Superman. Superman, like in case anyone doesn't know, he's weak to magic. He's not weak to magic like kryptonite, but like he doesn't have any resistance against magic.
Okay.
So like magic will affect him.
So like you could shoot a bullet at Superman and it flies right off.
So yeah, it's excellent.
Like you shoot a magic bullet, it'll hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll hit him. There's actually, this is unrelated, but there's a Doctor Strange comic, like the most famous one is called Doctor Strange The Oath. And the plot of that one is that someone tries to shoot Doctor Strange with Hitler's gun. And it hits Wong instead.
What?
And, they use Hitler's gun because it's got so much like negative energy around it that it's able to go through all of like the.
It's got bad juju.
Magical...
Hitler's gun's got bad juju. Oh my god.
So it's able to get through all of like the magical defenses that are around like the Sanctum Sanctorum. And that's the plot then, is like, oh no, like Wong got hit and he's gonna die, and like Doctor Strange is trying to find a cure for Wong.
That's fucking incredible.
It's not that relevant to this. I just thought it's funny.
Yeah,
it's like a really funny plot to describe. Yeah. So what about Injustice? Is there like something you wanted me to like mention?
Oh, we were just so while we were gone, we were talking about spoilers, and then we just eventually evolved into the discussion of how I mentioned how Harley Quinn in Injustice. We were talking about how Harley Quinn has evolved just beyond being like a straight up villain and like Joker's sidekick or whatever to being her own character who's developed a lot in the comics as well as in other media to like be sort of either an anti-hero or kind of edging along the hero side of things more recently, it seems like. And so I mentioned how in Injustice 2 she's helping Bruce Wayne with...
Oh my god, someone's paragliding outside my yard.
What?
Holy shit, can you point the camera at it?
No, this is my laptop. He just like...
You can turn the laptop out. Anyways, that's fucking crazy, dude. Right? I mean, I guess it's probably a pretty safe place to paraglide because, like, you've got a big field behind your house, right? They could just land in.
Yeah, it's like a farm. Maybe it's the farmer. I thought he was like 70 years old though, so maybe not. I don't know.
Dude, he's just vibing.
Man's just vibing in the air. But yeah, so we were talking about how then we got, Harley is helping out Batman.
Yeah.
And so then that's how we got into the Injustice topic. And Mark is
in the comics. Yeah, that's the. Like, her arc is maybe, like, the biggest arc. Or, like, she became, like, a huge fan favorite in that comic because Harley Quinn, she starts out, obviously, like, as, like, Joker's kind of sidekick. And throughout the comic series, like, over time, it's kind of her becoming, like, a good guy. And then in the game, they, like, undo that. Like, that's one issue I had with, like, the last 2 years of the comic is, like, they don't really set up the game that well. And, like, a lot of the stuff that was set up in the comic just gets, like, undone in the game.
Because in the game, it's the alternate universe, like with the good Superman, shows up along with a bunch of other people from that universe, including a version of the Joker, right? And so then that Joker rolls in, he's like, what's up? And then Harley reverts as a character back to being, like, his sidekick.
Yeah, Harley's like, hey! Nice to see you again.
All this progress! Undone!
Yeah, so let me just undo this character development real quick.
I mean,
but yeah, she's, like, really great in the comic, because it starts out because like Superman kills the Joker, and then Green Arrow goes to get Harley because they don't want like Superman to kill Harley too. So Green Arrow takes her to like the Arrow Cave, and she's like, "Why don't you just call it the Quiver?" And he's like, "That's actually better." So yeah, like she becomes really good friends with like Green Arrow and Black Canary, and she's like a really good arc in that.
She becomes like best friends with Black Canary.
Oh yeah, I remember that in Injustice 2. They like that's like a thing. Like they're
the reason that Superman killed the Joker is because the Joker killed Superman and tricked Superman into killing his wife and kid.
Yeah, that's an important detail that we might have forgotten to mention.
So like the first comic or the first two comics, I think they kind of cover like the immediate lead up to what happens in the beginning of the game, which is like Batman is trying to solve a mystery, and Superman is also trying to do something too. So it's like kryptonite has been stolen from Star Labs is one thing, and then Scarecrow has been found dead with like Joker gas, and Superman found out that Lois is pregnant, and so he tells Batman that too, because Batman is his best friend.
Right.
And then like this stuff starts happening where like Batman goes to investigate kryptonite, and Lois goes missing, going to investigate a scoop. And then a nuclear submarine also goes missing as well. So like it's like, what is going on? And basically what ends up happening is the Joker kidnapped Lois, and he hijacked this nuclear submarine somehow. I don't really know how. But
he's the Joker, baby.
It's the Joker, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, he hijacked this nuclear submarine, and him and Harley, they hide the nuke in Metropolis somewhere, and they kind of wire the detonator to Lois's heartbeat because they're just kind of weird like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like in Modern Warfare, and they
played COD.
Harley and Joker were playing COD together, and like, holy shit, that's fucking great idea right there.
Yeah. So what happens is Superman goes in to like first to like confront them, and he gets hit by fear gas laced with kryptonite, so it can affect him.
Right.
And he immediately sees Doomsday then, instead of Doomsday like the character. Doomsday is a character that kills Superman.
Yeah.
And Superman immediately just takes him into space.
Right.
Just like, just get him away from everyone else.
Yeah.
And what happens though is it turns out that like Doomsday is what Superman fears most, really.
Yeah.
But it turns out that was Lois, and like he was just kind of like the fear gas that affected him.
Yeah.
And so he took her, and I know it sounds really convoluted because it is, but it works in the comic book, I would say. And so then Lois dies then, right, in space, obviously, because she can't breathe. And Superman has killed Lois, and he comes back down to Earth, and Metropolis has been destroyed by the nuke as well. So he killed Lois and his unborn child and Metropolis simultaneously.
It's a pretty bad day, We talk about one bad day in reference to making Jim Gordon have a bad time, but I'd say that's
one down.
A little bit worse of a bad day.
He had a tough time.
Sing his dad's song just to turn it around.
This was.
Oh my god, I haven't thought about that song in years, dude.
You tell me don't know.
Oh man, fucking ringing off the people from American Idol every episode.
That's what happens. That's why like he is so angry. Like Batman takes the Joker into custody.
Yeah. And
Batman is like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, why'd you do that? Like, why'd you mess with him?" And Batman, like the Joker was like, with you it's no fun anymore. Like this guy's like dumb enough that he just fell for everything. And then like Superman comes in, and Batman is trying to like push him back, and Superman just shoves his arm through the Joker's chest.
Yeah.
And kills him.
They do that in the game, where they show it in the game.
Super brutal.
Superman is so dumb as a character. Never mind.
Whoa!
Oh, here we go.
Why does this happen every time you're around? Every time I'm on something with you, someone's like, Superman is dumb.
Well, it's just because last time it was Brad's cousin that was somehow egging you on into this fucking Superman discourse. Oh my god.
It's just like, Superman's not fun. Like,
but he can't. It's
have
about
you ever read
who's
a
writing
Superman
them.
comic book, though?
It's about who's writing them.
Read a Superman comic?
Like if your experience with Superman is Zack Snyder, then
that is
sure.
fun. It's like, oh, this is Superman, but there's something that happened. Superman is a comic now. Superman is reverse Superman.
You're not answering my question. Have you read any Superman comics that just like regular Superman?
Huh? No,
have you read
because he's a boring character.
You can't say he's a boring character if you haven't read anything about him. You're just like, oh, he's boring because he's Superman. It's just this. I used to think that too. But then I started reading Superman.
Sorry, I've read comics in which he is not the main character of the comic.
Right, so then
they
they probably don't
spend comics where he is the main character.
No, because I don't like him in anything else.
Because he's not being written well in those comics.
Character. Yeah, you can't say he's a boring character. You haven't read anything with him in it. I mean, with him as the main character. You're just going off of comics where he's like in a supporting role. You can say you don't like him.
My responsibility to make him to like actively search out making him a fun character. When
I'm not saying you have to look for him. Look, you can dislike Superman. I think that's fine. But I don't think you can say he's a boring character without actually giving him a chance and like reading some of his comics.
I think I can. I think it is. I can't say definitively, but I think, like, to me, he's not a fun character.
I think the problem is that Zack Snyder has poisoned the public's perception of Superman just by making him like just the worst. He's not.
Yeah, well, watch the Snyder cut and you'll be good.
God, we talked about that while we were playing fucking Reach on Monday. Snyder cut. I don't understand why anybody's hyped for that movie.
It must be almost done, right? Like, if they're releasing a full Snyder
cut, it's coming out in
2021. That movie must have been almost done or something. Like,
well, they had a lot of footage.
Yeah, like
we're
talking about
2021.
The fact that they're able to put this together even during COVID times, like.
What's interesting is they're actually not using any footage shot by Joss Whedon. They're only using footage that was filmed by.
That's why it's called the Snyder Cut, right?
What I mean is, like, there's no... So, like, you would presume that because they had to finish the movie with a different director, that there wasn't enough to actually finish the movie. Mm-hmm. But what they're doing the movie, like, everything, the 4 hours that is the movie, or it might be 6 hours, I think it's 4. The 4 hours are all just original footage shot by Joss Whedon. I mean, by Zack Snyder, which is, like, really interesting. Like, how are they able to get that much footage and then not finish the movie with just that footage?
Well, I think that movie was finished.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, like, the fact that this is like being released means that movie was finished, and for some reason somebody like
it was not finished.
Well, like it was close to being able to be finished. If we could do it like,
earlier on when people kept demanding the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder said that there is no Snyder Cut. There was no version of the movie.
So that was a lie.
When they say when they're doing the Snyder Cut now, he is putting together the movie now. That's why it's coming out in 2021.
It's all post production. Is that what's the understanding is?
Yeah. So part of it is they're actually having the actors come in and redub some of their lines, and they're going to redo like the visual effects. Mm-hmm. Like there is a lot of work. That's why it's not coming out for another year.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a Snyder Cut that was ready to go yet. Like it wasn't done yet, but there was a bunch of random footage.
Yeah, but like I think
and they're putting it together.
I understand what Mark's saying correctly, it's that production, like primary production, was done on Zack Snyder's version of the film. They don't need to do any actual shoots for the Snyder Cut. It's just that there wasn't any post-production for it, and then when Joss Whedon came in, they did reshoots specifically for Joss Whedon's version of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was meaning.
So from my understanding, based on like stuff I've seen, like which includes other podcasts, so it's like a secondary source, I guess.
I mean, fucking everybody bases things on other podcasts. It's fine.
But it's what I understand is that for some reason, and it's not really been explained why yet, but like they did film a lot, but then it was never like put together, and like a lot of the concept art and stuff that they originally had, they never like began to make it. Yeah, and like now because they have like the Snyder Cut now, they are able to kind of like they saw what everyone hated and they're not doing that stuff anymore. So like they're redesigning. The benefit
of hindsight somehow. They've managed to.
Yeah. So it's like you can say like that was always going to be this good, but like some of the stuff like I said, they are redoing like a lot of visual effects and like character designs are being changed. They're having actors redub some of the voice lines, and I don't know why like I said, I don't really know why they didn't just like finish the movie.
Is it maybe because like just the coincidence of that tragic event that happened where Snyder's was his daughter, right, that passed away, or was it
daughter?
Yeah. So Snyder's daughter passed away, and so he's like, I can't keep working on this. So he wasn't able to give oversight on post production, even if production was finished, like primary production was finished.
Yeah.
So at that point,
what's interesting is like Joss Whedon chose not to use anything. Like that's really strange to me.
Yeah, I guess
he just like made so much again.
Yeah, like so they
got to that point. He added is bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original.
Sorry,
Justice
you can keep
League,
talking.
So I really can't.
You haven't seen the original Justice League?
No.
Lucky you.
All I heard is
so
that it was a bad time and that there was CG to CG out fucking Henry Cavill's mustache.
It was a good mustache.
It looks kind of gross, dude. Like it looks really
awful.
Gross. I don't know why they didn't just have Superman have a fucking.
That would have been a fucking choice. I know
actually why. It's a really interesting story. So they finished Justice League, and then they did a lot of reshoots, like half the movie, I think.
Yeah.
And then they were like, he was already filming Mission Impossible, where he has a mustache, and like, you need to come back. And he was like, I'm already filming this other movie, and like that studio was like, no, he can't, like, no. And they were like, okay, what if we pay you, like, it was like $27,000 or some like huge, it was the most that's ever been paid for like facial makeup. No, for like, yeah, they were like, he'll shave, but we'll pay like $30,000 for like the best prosthetic mustache ever made. And they're like, no. And so instead, they had to CGI out his mustache in the movie, and it looks terrible.
Wouldn't it look better to see? I don't know, right? But wouldn't it look better to CGI in a mustache for the other parts rather than CGI out?
Well, they could have
just. He can't have a mustache.
Yeah. Also, I think.
Oh, you mean for Mission Impossible?
Yeah, for Mission Impossible side.
Why not do it the other way around?
Because the other studio was just too stubborn.
They said no.
I would so. To CGI in a mustache would require a bit more physics than to CGI out a mustache.
Yeah, but at that point, I think it would be easier for the Mission Impossible team. If they took that deal, they could have given him an amazing fucking fake mustache, and I don't think anybody would have noticed. They wouldn't have noticed as much as people notice the fucking bad CGI on the removal of the mustache.
I honestly think they were just being petty.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was just pure pettiness.
Almost certainly.
Like, there was no reason. They were just being super. Also, I think it attracted some attention to Mission Impossible as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, there was, like, this was in the news, at least, like, the movie news around the time, where people were like, what the fuck is going on? A fight over a mustache. Where they decided to CGI out a mustache instead of wearing a fake mustache.
I can't. It's just incredible that that number blows my mind. $27,000. They wouldn't take it for a fucking mustache.
Offered to pay. So they offered to pay more than my mom's annual salary, to CGI to get a mustache.
Yeah, on a fake mustache, and they said no.
They said no.
Listen, my mom makes $23,000 a year. They offered $27,000. They offered $4,000 more to just get a mustache.
Yeah, they said no. They were like, "Fuck that shit."
God, and they
That's
said no.
That's incredible.
They said no.
He looked good with the mustache, though. It was a good mustache.
Yeah, he looked good in the mustache.
He looked hot as
liked it.
fuck, dude. In Mission Impossible, like I was like sweating the entire time. Every time I saw him,
when he does the fist reload,
dude, he reloads his muscles. I was like, yeah, the mitochondria.
That scene was amazing.
Oh my god.
This boy's a powerhouse.
What was like? I have to
watching
wonder.
The movies now.
What? What did you say?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the weirdest thing watching the movies now is just like all I can think is just watching Tom Cruise run is like timing it and thinking how far I could run and being like I would be so tired at this point. Like how is he doing this? He's been running for like 5 miles.
And he broke his leg during the stunt.
Yeah, and it's in the movie too.
Oh
it's in the movie.
Like,
is that the take that they took
on a stunt? Yeah, you can see it in the movie. I actually was wondering what happened because he was limping away from like he jumps from like 2 stories onto like a lower rooftop, and like his ankle like hits the thing and goes like that.
Oh. No.
And then he just keeps. Then he runs out of this off screen, right? So like he ran on his broken ankle off screen just because he said in an interview he didn't want to have to shoot the take again. So he just was like, I'm just gonna finish it now.
Well, no shit, you broke your fucking leg. You don't want to do that again.
Why does he do his own stunts again? Is it just like a pride thing?
It's a pride thing.
Yeah, he just enjoys it, I think. And I think honestly though, I think like I don't know if running on a broken leg is worth it, but I think as fans, like we definitely enjoy it. I think it's something unique about
I've never like saw a movie and like was like this man did his own stunts. That feels cool to me. I'm just like that seems kind of dumb.
I respect like the effort put into like wanting to make everything as like not realistic, but like believable as possible. So like you do your own stunts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like plus it's also an excuse for him to like learn how to, let's say, jump out of a building, fly a helicopter, all this other shit.
If he didn't know how to
when the Scientologists take over and he needs to run away from the government, that's where he'll use those skills perfectly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he does.
Like I agree with that.
I mean,
go ahead.
Like,
sorry.
He does all these stunts on his own because he has the power of Scientology on his side. That's actually why he's a Scientologist. He enables him.
100% faith in Scientology, so like he can survive anything. That's why he's still alive.
How much did he pay to get that faith stat up?
Lord.
Like I think what makes it worth it is when you're watching a movie, like when they don't have to cut away from something, right?
Yeah.
Like in a fight scene, like when they don't have to do like quick cuts, let's say, to try and conceal it. Like when you just see, like, that's why one take fights, are so like amazing. Right? Like in Daredevil, there's like, I mean, maybe my favorite example, right? Is because it's just like you're just kind of amazed by like the fight. And
but fights are different than like. I'm talking about stunts like that are like
when you're hanging off the side of a fucking plane and like...
but like for example, right? Like it's like they don't have to do anything to like they just show you the thing like straight on, right? Like they don't do anything to try and disguise it. And I like that, right? It's not necessary, but I do enjoy that.
Well, you also got to remember that like so with however much coordination involved with, you got to remember that like even for the smallest stunts, as much coordination is involved for them too. Like for jumping out of a window, you're gonna have to still be coordinated with like all of like the crew and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of effort to like go in to just like do the stunts. And it's easy to like cop out and like have like a stunt double do it. But if you want to like just do it yourself, then there's a lot of training that still has to go in. So it's like impressive to have to go through all that training and
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give Tom Cruise, like, I don't know, maybe this is giving him more credit than what he deserves, but like, there's an honorable aspect of it I could see where it's like I'm not gonna ask somebody else to do something that I'm myself am not willing to do for the sake of this role in this movie. Like I think, and maybe in Tom Cruise's mind, he's like, I am signing on to do this role of like this character in Mission Impossible or whatever movie, and part of that role requires me to do these crazy action stunts. And he just sees that as part of the role. He sees putting himself in this sometimes incredibly mortal peril just as part of the role, and he accepts that.
I actually think part of it is also just because like it's fun to do. Like
maybe the adrenaline rush is probably there.
That's definitely why he still does these films, because he's producing them too. So it's like he's the one making these films. So like he's sitting there going like, man, I want to jump, like I want to hang off the side of a plane. Well, let's make it tax deductible.
All right, writers.
Let's make
writers. Let's get that in the script, please.
I don't know. I just can't imagine putting yourself like in that kind of danger and being like, I don't know. Like I can't imagine a pride thing for me going that far where I could be like, you know what, I'm gonna give up like my, like if I have like more than one movie going on, you ruin both movies just because you felt like you wanted to do something that somebody else like, huh?
Do you mean like if he died?
No, I'm saying like even if like he broke it, like if he broke his leg, right? That stops him from recording 2 movies and kind of ruins a lot of other people's jobs just because he wanted to do something, just because he felt like pride in doing something himself.
A fair criticism.
I think at this point, it's actually a selling point though of the Mission Impossible franchise. Like any Tom Cruise movie is like, how is he going to top the last one? The next movie
was just because
they said they want to go into
the
space
movies to this
point
point at this far, you might as well just watch another one.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
They don't have really much connection to the previous ones, though. It's usually just kind of like each one is its.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a connection, but you don't need to watch any of the old ones to watch a new one.
I actually only got into like what's it called? Ghost Protocol was like my first real Mission Impossible movie.
Was that the one where he was climbing up the side of the building? Or
that was the one.
Yeah. Okay.
That was pretty good.
I did see that one. It was a while ago, and I barely remember any of it, but it was a movie I watched at some point.
I didn't watch the other Mission Impossible movies before then, but I still got a grip of like what was going on. I was like, okay, so
you don't need to know anything really.
At the end of the day, it's just a fun sometimes heist movie, espionage kind of deal, and like if you're into that,
yeah, they're just fun.
Yeah,
and it's like, whoa, look at what's going on. Like, look at the action.
Spectacle.
And plus, like, it's like, I mean, even with like
Rogue Nation was really good. That was the one after that.
Even if Tom Cruise does get injured, right? Like, and sure they have to like stop shooting a week or two, a couple weeks, right? But like they could still shoot other shots. That's the thing, and that's usually what they do. If they
but I would just like, it seems like annoying for everyone involved.
He actually said like, he started doing scenes again after he broke his leg, like within like a month. Like he started running on the leg again.
Yeah,
against doctor's orders.
I mean, production in general, there's always people in production are always like waiting for something to happen, more or less.
They're preparing. So, they're always preparing.
Yeah, it's never a point where like people can take a break. Like, I'm not gonna say like we, like, as in, because I'm in a different line of production, but like a point where people can just take a break and like breathe for a moment. Like, let's say Tom Cruise does break his ankle, and like everyone for the rest of the day just chills. It's kind of like, I don't want to say nice, but it's like
it's a de-stress. It's a moment of de-stress for everyone else.
Somebody break Tom Cruise's ankle real quick. I need a fucking break out here.
Somebody snap his fucking kneecaps, all right? I need a fucking break.
If you're on edge like the entire day. Tom Cruise breaks his ankle. You're like, okay, well, at least now I can like sort out like tomorrow and the day after that. You know, like you have a day to like, you essentially get the rest of the day to just like prep for like the next couple days and planning.
And I think the other
thing. Thank God the Scientologists broke their fucking leg.
Fucking.
And
now to my taxes.
To consider is like with movies, especially when you go into production, you order the shoots in a way that is advantageous for, like for the most people possible. So in the case of Tom Cruise doing his own stunts, when there is a risk of him hurting himself, I would assume that the director or the directors or whoever is coordinating the shoots would probably put those shoots at the end of filming so that he does all the scenes where it's just him talking to people or, not doing anything that is threatening to his well-being first. And then at the end of it, they're like, all right, well, we've got all those scenes out of the way, so we don't have to worry about those. So now we can try to do these risky scenes, and if something happens, we at least have all the rest of that footage that we can start working on in post-production while you heal for this stuff.
I can't speak to that specifically, but last week I was like watching some of the stunts like from the last movie, and like that airplane scene, that halo jump scene is like, it's like unprecedented. One of the big things that I thought was really cool. Yeah, they actually, the helmet that he wears is not like a normal Halo helmet. Normally you go with like the Mark 5B. No, I'm just kidding. Normally you have to wear one which it covers most of your face, right?
Yeah.
And they made a new helmet specifically so you could see Tom Cruise's face. So the stunt was worth it, right? Like when he's jumping out, it's like you go like, yeah, this is him.
Yeah.
And I watched like the way they filmed it. It was really amazing, and like how many like months it took for them to like just plan out, because everything has to be timed perfectly with like the cameraman jumping out in front, and like he said you can't pull focus while you're jumping, so like he has to just be in the right position. He was like, you can't be like 3.5 feet, you can't be 2.5 feet, you have to be 3 feet or it doesn't work. And like he was like, every day it's like you could only get like one attempt, and that was it. So it's like really cool to watch, and like they put a lot of time. And like Tom Cruise, he said like I was watching some Graham Norton interviews too. He said that he like practiced for like years to like do the helicopter stunt, and like he got his helicopter license, and like it's like there is a lot of planning that goes into it. And I think he just honestly just enjoys like the going for like the risk, right? It's kind of like if you like someone like Alex Honnold too, or like like where it's like I'm gonna free solo El Cap, or just like anyone that kind of pushes like the limit. It's like there's a joy.
What is that for people who don't know all the hip
terminology? It was. I mean, I thought he was famous enough. He was the guy that climbed El Capitan without any harness or anything. Okay. There was a movie about him, Free Solo, won a lot of awards.
Nope, don't know it.
Nope.
Okay.
I am dumb of ass. Please consider.
He climbed this like huge mountain in Yosemite, or like this huge flat surface. It's really famous. And he climbed it, like he free soloed it, so like he had no harnesses.
Dude, that shit scares the shit out of
me. Safety equipment. And he climbed it alone.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Like I guess you just have to keep like what do you think when you get halfway up something like that and you're free climbing? Like, you're just like, well, I got it, and like, I gotta keep going up, or I'm just going to die.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just like, you just gotta keep going.
But like, I don't know, my muscles, I feel like, I guess they trained for it, but like, my muscles would atrophy so bad by that point.
Yeah, that's why you're not doing it. These are like, they're professional athletes. Like Tom Cruise, he's not a professional athlete, but he is a professional, and like, this is what he does.
Yeah.
You know, like my yearbook quote, oh my god, Nick, remember how your yearbook quote was Hitler?
No, it wasn't. It was not. It's not. Do not say that.
It
was Charlie Chaplin.
This man.
No, okay. Listen.
It was Charlie Chaplin as Hitler.
It was Charlie Chaplin in a movie called The Great Dictator, where it was him condemning Hitler. Okay.
It was
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, actually, please fact check this. I don't need. If I'm gonna get canceled, cancel me for something real. Don't cancel me for this bullshit because he.
How about you can be paid to say the N-word? How about that? Can we do that?
Jesus.
No, I back down from that. I'm not. You cannot pay me to say the N-word. No, but Charlie Chaplin played this role in The Great Dictator because he had the mustache, and people were like, oh, you know, they share that mustache or whatever. And so he took that platform that he had.
The only reason.
Okay, yeah, obviously not the only reason, but like he took that platform that he had because he was really famous at the time and this is while Nazi Germany was coming into its own, and like Hitler was really rising in power, and so he took the opportunity to make a movie that essentially, thank you for commenting, Murky Racist. That's the one comment we have on this stream, Mark. Appreciate it.
What
does it say?
It says Murky Racist, then PogChamp.
PogChamp.
But he took that platform as an opportunity to speak out against it in a time when the U.S. wasn't openly against Nazi Germany. You know, he spoke out against it when some people were like, maybe Nazi Germany is fine, and like, you know, it wasn't really the. It wasn't the most popular thing to be against Nazi Germany at the time, which obviously in hindsight is fucked up, but like at the time. And so he gave...
I
mean, it's not even apparently.
I understand that.
Either.
But he gave this really great speech, and I recommend. We're honestly really over on time, so I kind of want to wrap this up soon. But that speech that he gives at the end of the movie, like, is one of the most moving things that I've ever heard in any form of media, because it's like it's a little long, but like it touches on a lot of things, and I think like just on humanity in general, and like, you know,
it's a solid speech.
Caring about your fellow human beings and standing up against injustice and tyranny and stuff like that.
Had the longest yearbook quotes in the entire yearbook.
Oh,
the
probably.
font was so small for hours.
You quoted the entire thing?
No, God, no. That wouldn't fit at all. No, I paraphrased a piece of it that I really liked. I think it was.
Okay.
Wait, you paraphrased it?
No. I think I cut 2 sentences together, I think. Or maybe it was just one piece of it, but it was definitely not the whole thing. I think the line was, we think too much and feel too little. We need less machinery and more humanity, or something along those lines. And you know, a line like that just, I don't know, maybe it's sappy, but like it just really got to me.
You're a sap. You know what I did for
I'm a sappy mother. What did you quote?
I did the, what's it called? The Jedi Code.
Oh my god!
Come on!
because what's it called? I'm a big fan of Buddhism, and a lot of the tenets are tied to it. And also, I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, what part did you quote?
Fuck! It was. Oh man, I don't remember. It was like actually.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is me.
No,
I'm one with the Force.
It was actually like. It was actually a solid section. It was What's it called? There is no emotion. There's peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is the Force.
Nice.
Because it was just very like zen and chilled out, and
Sure.
I was going through a very zen phase throughout like my last year of high school and like freshman year of college.
Dude, I remember.
And I started drinking more.
I remember you coming over to Aaron's house. Was it you, Tyler, and Marchie? You guys had like the really professional like fighting lightsabers.
We had dueling grade lightsabers, baby.
Wait, you have dueling grade light? Me and Brad were gonna buy some when we graduated, but then I was like, wait, I don't have enough money for this.
We learned we learned and did like sparring practice with each other.
That shit was
I know.
fucking incredible.
I focused mostly on 2 lightsaber combat, which
you
is
guys learned the different forms.
Yeah, there's
some. Oh wait, no, that's Form 3. My bad.
Yeah, Surisu. I was on Surisu, I believe. Form 2 is specifically like based off of like fencing styles, more or less. Like it's the closest like to fencing styles.
Yeah. It's what Count Dooku uses, right?
It is, yeah. It was really cool.
I love watching him duel.
It was really dope. Marchie for his senior quote did the Sith code.
Cute twinning.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, it was so fucking gay. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
It was great.
I just fucking remember you guys coming over with those things, and you know, our dumbasses, we didn't fucking study or anything. We just thought the lightsabers cool, and you'd give us one smack on the wrist, and like, God, that shit hurt. Like, just because, yeah, that shit.
It's dueling great, dude.
Yeah, that shit fucking hurted.
What color is it?
Like
green?
What's up, Mark?
Is it curved?
Oh yeah, is that curved?
Oh, that's the camera.
Oh, okay. You got like a fucking
have, like,
fish
a fish
eye? Yeah.
Just how the webcam is, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's wide
That's
angle.
really interesting.
Yeah, it's just wide angle.
It looks like you took like one of those like lights that go in like a kitchen, like like the really long,
neon
the really long lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a like a fluorescent light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that you just smack people in the head with a fucking fluorescent light.
Metal flashlight. I heard that is honestly it's high grade or some shit like that. It's like supposed to be as hard as oak.
Yeah, it feels like that when you get smacked in the wrist or anywhere else with it. Fucking hurts.
I don't remember I smacked you with it.
Well, we were fucking around in the driveway. I remember.
Right? Yeah. We just had him in the fucking car.
Yeah. You just hit each other. You tap, even just like a little tap on the wrist with the amount of force you go in with it. It fucking hurts. You gotta wear good equipment to.
The amount of force you say?
we just smacked each other. All we really had were what's it called, lacrosse gloves. That's all. Like I remember going to Sports Authority just because I was like, I need lacrosse gloves because I'm not gonna play lacrosse, but just because I want to smack my friends with lightsabers.
Fucking nerds! Oh my god.
It was lit. I know.
Right. I found my yearbook quote, if I can be like a part of it, because it's directly relevant to like the climbing thing and like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's by George Mallory, who is one of the pioneers of climbing Mount Everest.
He died climbing it, right?
Yeah, he died. He actually, they found his body like 10 feet from the top. So like he made it to the top, but he died before he could get down.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his quote, it was my yearbook quote. People ask me, what is the use of climbing Mount Everest? And my answer must at once be, it is of no use. There's not the slightest prospect of any gain whatsoever. Oh, we may learn a little about the behavior of the human body at high altitudes, and possibly medical men may turn our observation to some account for the purposes of aviation. But otherwise nothing will come of it. We shall not bring back a single bit of gold or silver, not a gem, nor any coal or iron. If you cannot understand that there's something in man which responds to the challenge of this mountain, and goes out to meet it, that the struggle is the struggle of life itself, upward and forever upward, then you won't see why we go. What we get from this adventure is just sheer joy, and joy is, after all, the end of life. We do not live to eat and make money. We eat and make money to be able to live. That is what life means and what life is for.
I mean,
I just quoted, joy is the end of life.
I have the Miley Cyrus song stuck in my head.
What?
Wait, I thought you were gonna say that was your yearbook quote, was a Miley Cyrus lyric, and I was gonna be like, oh boy.
It's always gonna be the mountain.
Oh
always wanna make it move. Always gonna hill it uphill battle.
Yeah, it's the climb.
It's the climb.
That's basically my yearbook quote, I guess.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Miley Cyrus.
Beautiful, truly. All right, before we end this episode, Mark, I have to ask. We've covered all of our yearbook quotes. What was yours? Do you remember?
Y'all shit was inspirational and shit. Mine was just like a I think it was an office quote, because I'm a basic bitch.
Oh no!
Listen, this is great. I was staying quiet during but no, I think it was like something about like the Dementors quote, whatever.
The worst part about prison was the
Yeah.
Dementors.
Yeah.
Look,
We
we
love
can
this
we
game.
can
That's
give
pretty good.
The Office a ton of shit, but like, I mean, I know you enjoy it, right, Yash? You've been watching a lot of The Office.
I watched it maybe
right?
like 13, 14 times.
Yeah.
I think the earlier seasons are like especially just like the writing is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think around like season 6 it starts to get less good.
Yeah.
Like the writing, I mean, it's still a good show, but like it's just genius. Like early on, especially like Steve Carell, Michael Scott's an amazingly written character.
Mm-hmm.
They're just edging you for like 3 seasons with Jim and Pam shit.
That is on par with the fucking Harley Ivy shit. Like, just fucking.
Oh God,
I
no!
love how
It was
Kevin
like
says,
entire second season. I was just like, just fucking go. And then when they
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
see
yeah.
it.
You know what? I was just gonna say.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, but yeah, like people could give The Office a lot of shit just because it is referenced so often, but that just speaks to, the fact that it has stayed in the public zeitgeist for years after the show's ended.
It has. Jesus.
Like some of the jokes are just so clever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even get a lot of them initially. Like I had to watch it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when Michael says he calls his boss and he's like, hey, I'm gonna need something to get the affection back of the workers. And he's like, what do you mean back? Like his boss says, what do you mean back? And he's like, oh, I ran over Meredith with my car in the parking lot. And his boss is like, wait, was this on company property? And Michael's like, it was on company property with God, sorry. It was on company property with company property, so double jeopardy, we're fine. And his boss is like, I don't think you understand how Jeopardy works, Michael. And Michael's like, oh, I'm sorry. What is we're fine?
What is we're fine?
Good Lord. That's fucking hilarious.
It's
That's
just
awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
If you guys want to watch it, if you haven't seen it or you want to rewatch it, it's gonna come down on like this in December. So you gotta watch it before December.
Oh,
Parks and
like
Rec
come
also
off of
is coming down very soon.
Come off of Netflix.
Yeah, they're putting it on NBC's
Peacock.
streaming thing. So they pulled it they're pulling it from The Office.
God, or from
Peacock
Netflix.
is free though. It is ad supported free, and then you can pay.
So. Oh, that's not that bad then.
Yeah, but then you just have to go on like an NBC thing to watch one show that you probably like out of the 17 maybe on the streaming site. Like Peacock's not that good of a site.
All right, we have blown well past our hour, but it was good conversation, so I think we're all the better for it. Thank you for joining me, my lovely guest, and thank you for joining me, whoever is in the audience with us today, other than Mark just saying that I'm racist and then putting a PogChamp after it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you got something out of it. And until next time, peace out. Stay safe.
Nick's